Hey guys, welcome back to the Red Circle podcast with your hosts Vanessa and Ed.
Where's the spirit fingers?
I'm holding my coffee.
Oh, okay, spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers for my coffee.
Yay.
What are we talking about today?
So, one of these days I'm actually going to do some homework. But the funny thing is, so to my defense,
You do homework all day long.
that's what I do.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just do it in my head.
Yeah. Well, like I'm getting videos from Ed
Nonstop.
all day, all hours of the night and day.
We're at
I'm like,
game night and game night.
yes, we're at game night playing board games with friends, and I'm getting videos. I'm like, how are you doing both?
And
I don't
I'm still-
understand.
and I'm still winning the game.
And you're still winning the game. Yeah. So it is what you do.
Sometimes
all
I'm
day
just
long.
there and I'm like, and I'll see something and I'm like, oh, so I'll send it to you more
Yeah.
as a way for
Download.
me to go back and see it later.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Zephyr started doing that with me with chicken stuff on Instagram. I'm like, oh, cute. And she's like, yeah, it is. But I also am going to watch it later because I haven't watched it yet.
That's how I do it. Yeah, for sure.
Aww.
But I do. That's how it's like. So remember when we did the Kobe
Yes.
and
the
my
test.
and my skill.
Not the Kobe.
Yeah, not Kobe. Dead Kobe. He
Mm.
died in a helicopter crash.
Very sad.
And very sus. If you look at the dates.
What was the date?
Well, that's here. You can look it up on your phone.
Okay.
And
Oh, damn.
yeah, the date
Was he in the Illuminati?
Illuminati confirmed.
Oh my
Doritos
gosh.
are trying. Illuminati
Doritos are trying.
confirmed.
Oh man.
Remember that video?
Yes.
Yeah, that video.
It was a commercial, right?
It was so funny. Illuminati confirmed.
When did Kobe die? Okay. The Googles says January 26, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So 1/26/2020.
Yeah. So there's something with the date of when he died. So put January 6th in like the thing and just see what comes up.
January 6th.
Yeah, there's like, it's like.
The insurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's all that's popping up on Google.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pushing the hell
They're
out of that.
pushing that so hard.
They always do things in threes and they always do things on certain dates. And they're always doing, it's all numerology. You know what I mean? There's power in numbers that these guys do. I don't necessarily know, like there's some of that stuff in scripture, but I'm not necessarily bought into all that stuff.
I follow this girl on TikTok.
Oh no.
I know. And she is Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
Very Jewish, and she's into the numerology stuff, but specifically with the Jewish calendar and all of those things.
Okay,
and
so she's on the lunar calendar.
Okay.
Yeah. So
It's
the Jews they only
crazy.
have 360 days on their calendar.
Oh.
So that's why many of the 7-day Adventists,
Yeah.
when they come to me and they say, "Oh, you're going to hell because you're not worshiping on Saturday,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Neither are you."
Because we're not on the lunar calendar.
Yeah, because you're not on a lunar calendar, so you're not following even what the Jews were commanded to follow.
What
So
do they say to that?
They don't say anything.
They're like, "Oh, damn,
They got me."
He got me.
Like, what do you say to that? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you want to worship on Saturday, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, how do you know that your Saturday is the Saturday that was on the lunar calendar? Like, you have to do a lot of research to figure out what it is, and it's going to be a ton of work.
I was watching a video where they were talking about, it was Bible times days prophecy stuff, but it was using the Jewish calendar, the lunar calendar, and like because they have less days, the year that we have is not the real year.
Exactly.
And I was like, what? Oh my gosh, how do we even know? It's just crazy.
And everything in the Jewish calendar and cycle is all based on the moon. So,
Interesting.
So there's no leap year. There's no, you know what I mean? There's none of that. There's no time changing. You're just following the moon.
That's interesting.
And it's biblical because that's the way that it's set up. It's like the moon will guide the night and the sun will guide the day. But
So they don't have the leap year. So it sounds like it might be more efficient.
yeah, well, it's probably be better.
Yeah.
Because we're on the Gregorian calendar, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah, Gregorian.
Yeah. So, yeah, like there's something there. There's a lot of numbers in the Bible.
A
There's
lot.
a ton of
A lot of
numbers in the
numbers.
Bible.
And they all have meaning. Like 7 is a number of completion.
I think 7, yes, I think so. 7 or 3, or 3 is perfection.
Okay.
And 7 is completion. Yeah. And then like 6 is man. 6 is the number of man. Just stuff like that, you know. There's a lot. There's a lot.
And I feel like you go down that rabbit hole, you could go
You
down
end up in
to
New Age.
New Age creepy stuff.
Yeah, you end up, you know, with a spoon and a bowl in some room and saying, like Homer Simpson. Yeah, don't end up in a room with bowls.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get this resonance of the certain frequency.
I did that. I think I told you.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah. No.
And
if you want to get the proper resonance of the earth, climb up a mountain and by yourself. Yeah. Just get into nature. You don't need to go in a room with some guy with bowls.
You don't.
Take your shoes off, take your socks off, lay in the grass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was interesting too because it felt like because I've done it several times. I haven't done it since I realized it's not the best thing.
You don't know where you're.
I don't know who's leading the meditation because it's always a meditation also, and the things that they're saying. Like you could really get into a deep meditative state and then just allow whatever they're saying to you're not on guard, you know. But I found myself searching for that feeling again. And I was
Chasing
like, again.
The dragon.
Yeah. I was like, again. I felt like I was floating and it scared me. And then I realized and I was like, oh, and I want that again. It was weird. Yeah. Yeah.
Remember, did you ever play that game as a kid, Light as a Feather?
Yes, and it worked. We thought it worked. I don't know. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's so scary that kids would even do that stuff.
I know.
And the Bloody Mary in the bathroom.
Yes, we did that at my
I don't think our kids do that stuff.
I hope
they
not.
do worse stuff.
Though. Oh God, our kids?
Not our kids.
Not our kids.
Like
in
the kids
Jesus'
in
name.
this generation.
You know what's interesting? Somebody at church, she's having a hard time with her kid. She's going through the teenage years, and she volunteers, so she knows my girls. And she was talking about how what a hard time she's having, and she was like, "Be careful with this one." And she pointed at one of my girls. She was like, "She's gonna be exactly like that." And I literally told her, "I bind that in Jesus' name. Absolutely not. You're gonna speak that into her life. Absolutely not." And she was like, "Ha ha ha!" And she said it again. I was like, "No, I bind that in Jesus' name.
You're like,
we're done here. Stop saying those things."
Yeah, I can see your fingers.
Like a sassy Jedi.
This is not you are not confessing that over
my child. Yeah.
No.
It was really interesting. It's like, no, stop saying that.
It's true. You have to be careful with what your words are. For sure. And you have to be careful what you open your spirit to. For sure.
And I think especially when you get into a meditative state like that,
that's what it's all about.
That is. You're just like
you're getting into the spiritual realm. There's a whole thing about astral projection. All that's real.
I know.
It's 100% real.
It's scary.
You know, like there's the spiritual realm is more real than this realm.
Yeah.
And you are a spirit. You live in a body.
Yeah.
You know, so be careful. You too out there, be careful.
And I literally thought I was just doing yoga. I was like, oh, I'm just doing. It was at a taco shop in the Montecillo area. Like it's very nice and trendy, and they did free yoga every Wednesday. And I was like, I'm there. And then we eat tacos and drink canned wine after.
Canned wine?
Canned wine.
I didn't know you could can wine.
Yeah, they can it. And
they can.
They can. And then that's how it happened. And then I found myself chasing it.
Is it funny? Like, you know how they call canning, but it's actually in mason jars?
Yeah, it's jarring.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's not canning.
Yeah.
This is not a can.
It is not.
But yours was in a metal can?
It was in a metal can. Wow. Like a soda.
That sounds disgusting.
It was not great.
But I don't even drink anymore. But I would just like, wine is like one of those things. Like even, oh, sorry, even wine in like a box is kind of lame.
It is.
Okay, let's get into the subject today because we are way
Way
off
off.
in the weeds. So we wanted to talk about the coming economic collapse,
Mm-hmm.
gold, silver,
Mm-hmm.
and Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And then we can talk even about the sub altcoins,
Mm-hmm.
alternative coins. So let me give you a synopsis of what I see we're at right now.
Okay.
So silver is becoming, okay, silver is cheap historically.
Mm-hmm.
It's historically cheap, okay? But to buy physical silver, there's a premium that's way higher than buying gold.
Okay.
So if you go to your local coin store or you go online or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
we're probably going to have a sponsor here soon
Yes.
for gold and silver for sure, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love gold and silver. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
huge gold and silver guy. So gold is undervalued historically
Mm-hmm.
for what it should be.
Silver.
Gold and silver
Okay.
are way undervalued. They should have gone up dramatically,
Mm-hmm.
but that just means the opportunity is still there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once gold and silver, like the way I look at it is it's like a pendulum. Okay. And the pendulum swings one way and then it swings the other way. Right now, we're like coming back down off of the equities pendulum.
Mm.
So equities, real estate over here. And then you switch to commodities, right? The commodity switch. Like even food is undervalued.
Mm-hmm.
We all know it.
Mm.
Like, and because of the processing of food, we have made it so efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Not good, but it's
Mm-hmm.
become efficient, right? Like there literally should not be any hungry people in the world.
Yeah.
Because of the way that we manufacture food.
Yeah. There's so
The
much.
United States is like the best at manufacturing food
Mm-hmm.
in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We are the most efficient people at farming to produce and then not letting that produce go bad.
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff. What is my base for to take care of your financial wealth, right? Your base case. Okay. First thing I would do is I would get 500 silver rounds. Okay. I don't care if it's, I would just do Boolean spot stacker style silver rounds. Okay. And this means you're going to get a 3 nines quality of silver.
Okay.
So 3 nines is like 0.999. Okay, you can get 4 nines, but I don't think you need that. And so you're going to get pure silver. Maybe the next time I'll bring on some silver and I can show you guys some
That
stuff.
would be so cool.
So we have a bunch. So, and I would just get silver rounds. Don't buy the American Eagles to start out with. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. You can buy a simple monster box. Okay, so a monster box is 500 ounces. But you can buy it with American Eagles if you want to. There's huge premium when it comes to monster boxes. Now, you can buy, 10-ounce bars, 50-ounce bars, 100-ounce bars if you want to. The problem with that is how you're going to divide it up.
Yeah.
And then how are people going to even trust that it's real? They're going to want to cut up your bar. And you don't want to cut up a bar. So the silver rounds are the best. So if you get, then that's why there's a premium on the U.S. minted ones, because everybody will trust it. Okay, everybody's going to trust the U.S. minted coins, and then they have the maple leaf coins, right? So, which is a Canadian maple leaf. They have some Japanese coins, and then, but I would not do any of that stuff. I would just get a generic from one of the major mint house. There's one that starts with T. I forget the name of it, and just buy their little rounds, and you can have fun things. Like I have some Spider-Man ones. I have some like
Oh,
Thor ones. I have some
that's
like
fun.
Darth Vader ones. I have all different kinds of,
Yeah.
you know, and you could do it. You could have like constitutional ones, like an Andrew Jackson one, or you can have like a Benjamin Franklin coin or whatever. You can they can make up whatever they.
Yeah.
So 500 ounces will give you a solid base to be able to buy to cover in case stuff hits the fan.
About how much do you think that is? I know it's changing.
No, I can tell you.
Okay, cool.
Actually, today, while I was searching for spot prices, when I searched it on Google, it 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 made me fill out a caption. I have never searched anything on my phone, and it made me fill out a caption.
Like a caption for a photo?
Yeah, so like I had to tell where the motorcycle is. I recorded
Oh,
it.
got it.
I recorded it.
Yeah. I bet you, I mean, it's for AI, I bet.
Dude, it was crazy.
I bet.
I've never had anybody.
Did you know that when you do those, it allows them to look at your camera and they watch your face and your eyes?
Really?
Yeah. That's like, it's not really about what, I mean, it is, but it isn't.
Yeah. So right now, and today is April 3rd, and spot is $23.87. Okay.
An ounce.
An ounce. So $23.87. So you go here, let's say you want to buy, let's see who we can buy from. So that's the one, APMEX. They're one of the bigger producers.
Okay.
So you can buy here, go to silver, and let's say you're going to buy, okay, so like this is a silver round. So there's a difference between a round and a coin. Okay, round is bullion, and a coin is a minted coin from a U.S. government.
Oh, okay.
So a round is just a coin. So like this one is a buffalo round, and they're selling at $29.65.
Okay. And that's 1 ounce silver round.
$29.65. Right?
Okay.
And it drops in price the more you buy at a time. Okay. So if you pay through PayPal, it's even more. It's $31.93. Like, look at that. What's that increase?
Through PayPal?
That's almost a $9 increase in price from spot to actual. And what's $9 on $23? It's like 40% markup.
Yeah, that's huge. That's
30%
huge.
markup, right?
That's crazy.
So there is a huge disparity between physical and what's traded on the stock market. Okay, so there's ETFs on the stock market like SLV, stuff like that. I would not recommend. I would not buy myself. I'm not giving financial advice.
Yeah.
I would not buy myself anything on the stock exchange that has to do with silver because it's all manipulated. And they don't even have the silver. It's you're paper trading with people.
Okay, so
and that's how they keep the prices low.
So you said to get silver rounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can get any type of silver rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
there are a ton of cool, like, there's one that looks like a Bitcoin logo.
Look at this one. So this is an American Silver Eagle coin. It's almost $40.
Oh, wow.
What is the
Wow.
difference in that price?
Yeah. What is it?
Right? So you see the
Hmm.
the entirely huge difference. This is also
Mm-hmm.
another one which is called a Britannia. And a lot of people don't even know about Britannia.
Britannia.
Britannias are a kind of mint that's been around for a long time.
Britannia.
Yeah, let me show you. So this is a Britannia.
Oh, okay.
So Britannia is like a minted coin, but it's not. I don't even know how to say it. It's like from the, it's like from the crown or whatever.
Oh, yeah. It looks very regal.
Mm-hmm. So theirs are not as high as ours, as the U.S. coins. U.S. coins are the highest markup,
Mm.
and then the second would be like the maple leaf, right?
It's just so weird to me because I don't like we've bought a little bits, but I'm not familiar. And you would just think like silver is this much an ounce, period.
Uh,
So it's interesting to see. Is it possible to just get like just silver?
So that the closest thing to getting just silver would be a bar.
Okay.
So the bigger size of bar that you buy,
Mm-hmm.
the cheaper the silver is. So like here, this is a 100-ounce bar. Okay. And it's just a
Oh,
bar, a 100-ounce bar.
okay. So let's see. That is 2,000. How much? 2,866.
And yeah, so it's 28. So it's $4.49.
An ounce?
Yeah, it's like $4.49 over spot.
Oh,
And that's high. This
yeah.
is super high. Like you might be able to get a way better deal at your local place.
So if you're looking for a local place, what are you Googling? Like, what's the
Coin store.
coin stores? Oh,
Hmm.
wow.
And they're hobbyists there too.
Mm.
So in the coin world, there's proofs,
Mm-hmm.
which is collectible based on quality and the,
Mm.
you know, the like, you know, if it's in good shape and the all that stuff in the year, and like you can find a penny that's worth like $10,000 or something
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But so you have the, you go to the coin store and he's gonna have them like divided up.
Mm.
So like this is the collectible side for those guys, and then there's the people that buy just, you know, U.S. minted coins, or, you know, minted coins, and then there's the stackers who are like the doomsday prepper guys,
Mm.
and they're the ones that are buying the rounds,
Okay.
right? Okay,
Okay. Well, that's cool. I
yeah,
want to go to one of those places.
we
Just
can
like
go.
that would be fun.
I love it.
And
I
just
know the
pick people's
guy.
brains.
Yeah, yeah, and they're and I know the whole. You know, there's also 90% silver.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Or they call it junk silver.
Oh.
And it's everything that was printed in the U.S. mint but was in circulation.
Mm-hmm.
So even some of that is 30 or 40% silver.
Mm.
So you have to know the years, but it's
Mm-hmm.
actually was, we were using it as currency in the U.S. for the
Yeah.
longest time. And so it's not even, so you get a quarter, and the quarter is 90% silver. So I think you have to get like $1.75 to actually meet a troy ounce.
Oh,
So you have to do all this math
that's
with 90%.
interesting. Okay.
I have some 90% junk silver. It was even like the original older ones. Like I have some Morgans.
I've heard of those.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a Morgan is like think of the Cowboys.
Mm.
So it's like 1800s,
Wow.
early 1900s.
Yeah.
And it's what they were like playing poker with or whatever.
That's
You know
cool.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And Morgans always have a premium.
Mm.
So a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to buy silver or gold or anything at the pawn shop, if you spend more than $1,000, they have to take more than $10,000. They have to take your information down.
Mm-hmm.
If you spend less than $10,000, they don't have to have any documentation.
And they send that to the IRS, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if you pull cash out of your bank account and then go buy it, they don't know that you have it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can be anonymous,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um, So that's the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
That's the advantage, is that you can stay anonymous with this money, because if the proverbial hits the fan, the black market will ensue, depending on how it all works. Like, there's always going to be a black market.
Yeah.
And we're not talking like people don't realize when we talk about gold and silver. Now, there is one way that gold and silver will become like what's happening with China, Russia, India, Iran, Brazil, like these other countries, Saudi Arabia, joining together to do. The way that they could destroy the dollar is just create a currency and back it by gold, or back it by silver, and then that would be it. Most people think the US dollar was backed by gold, but it was mostly backed by silver. That's why you call them silver certificates. Like,
yeah, you always just hear that they used to be backed by gold.
yeah.
So interesting.
We had so much gold after World War II. We had like the whole world's gold. We had like 70-80% of the world's gold in Fort Knox. That's why we had to build Fort Knox.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone was like, well, let's just go off of the dollar.
Yeah.
You know, so when you go, you want to pull money out of your account slowly, so that you don't put any red flags to your bank or the IRS. And then when you go pay, you want to buy under under $10,000. So you just take cash, and the guy, they know. They're not gonna be surprised. You're not gonna be like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Whoa, look at all that cash. They know.
They know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they've seen way more money than you've got.
Yeah.
You know, you will be surprised at this, that they are generally packing, and they're very secure, and
Heck yeah.
they may not even let you in the room when you look, and they'll have a camera, and then they'll bring you in.
Whoa.
Because they have millions of dollars in these rooms.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, just tons of money. Yeah, and to me, it's dangerous. I don't understand these people and how they work, but I'm not in that business.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
Because if you think of that room, like how much money is sitting in that room. And it's untraceable.
Yeah. Imagine the insurance that they have to pay. It must be crazy.
Well, I don't know. It depends on how many people actually get robbed.
Yeah.
You know? And if you're going to get robbed by a place that's packing.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
And there's always going to be guys hanging out there. It's weird.
I'm excited to go.
Yeah. There's always guys sitting there, and they're just chatting it up with the owner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's like retired old men. There's always retired old men just hanging out there.
That's fun.
So, ladies, if you want to find a retired old man that has some money,
go to a coin store.
Go to a coin store.
That's cool. There was a jewelry store that I used to have a restaurant, and there was in the shopping center, there was a jewelry store, and people broke into the jewelry store by going through the wall. They broke into the title company next to it because it was easier, because there's no bars on everything. And I never thought of the ceiling or the wall.
Yeah.
They just like broke through the sheetrock.
Sheetrock is easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they robbed the place and then went back out the title company. It was crazy. So those people must have their stuff locked down.
I don't know. Some people, it looks sus. Now, maybe some of his big stuff, he has like a big safe in there. But, like, I don't know what he does at night and cleans out his, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to me, it seems like, especially if the proverbial hits the fan.
Yeah.
That's going to be like that, and then the gun stores. You know what I mean? At night. Like, those are the two biggest ones. And the liquor stores.
Yeah.
Those are the three big ones. Okay.
Okay.
So, so the ratio for gold to silver has always been between 15 or 10 to 1. Okay. So 10 or 15 ounces of silver should equal 1 ounce of gold. Okay. Now, if you do the math, okay, 23.87 times 15 is $358. Okay.
Okay.
So $358, and now I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
How much do you think an ounce of gold is?
Oh, I don't know.
Right? So an ounce of gold, let's see, right now, it's, uh, let me look it up real quick, but it should be right around 1900
Oh, wow. For 1 ounce.
for 1 ounce of gold.
Wow.
Okay. Now, if you buy,
Wow.
and gold doesn't really have as much rounds.
Do they do more bullion?
Yeah, they do more bullion. No, I mean bullion is rounds.
Oh, okay.
But they do more actual coins.
Hmm.
Oh, there it is. Let me see. This is silver. So, but the cool thing about gold is that gold, the premium is not as high. Okay. So you know how, see right now it's 1983.
An ounce.
Yeah, 1983. Okay, but
Hmm.
if you go buy a American Eagle gold coin, it's 21.74.
Whoa.
See the markup? It doesn't have the markup.
Oh, wow.
You understand that?
Yeah.
And that's the American Eagle one.
Yeah.
The difference is also that a lot of people can't buy at that high price point. So they buy fractional gold. Okay. So fractional gold is like you can buy a tenth of an ounce or a quarter of an ounce, right? Which nobody really does in silver, not for rounds, right? But these are still even printed, right? So they're still actual coins. So like this is half of an ounce. See here?
Okay.
And that's 1300.
Yeah.
So you see the markup is higher on this one. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
But then you can buy like a bar. So like this is a 5-ounce bar.
Okay.
And look at the price.
Oh, damn.
So
20.
So it's like, yeah, this one's 10-ounce and it's 20,000. So let's do the math there. So 20,500 divided by 10 is 2,050, where the spot is 1983. You know, there's really very little markup on that. So the higher you buy, you know, if you bought 100-ounce gold, like, yeah, you probably could get it almost that spot.
Whoa.
You know.
I thought about gold way different than it is. So and I think maybe it's because
Oh, there's a tenth right there. So 343 for a tenth. So if you do, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I had friends that had family in Venezuela. They still do. And what they were doing is Venezuelans really like gold jewelry. And so they were shipping out their gold jewelry. They were sneaking out of the country, getting it up to America, and then selling their gold jewelry for money so that they could have money because they didn't have any money because everything's super expensive. So I guess because of that experience, when I thought about gold and silver, I just thought as long as you had some kind of gold and silver. Like my thought was even, how do jewelers get gold and silver? So you could buy it at a discount so you could have some.
No, so they buy the jewelers, they buy it like on rods. Oh. So there's like these rods for jewelers.
And then they melt them down and use them.
And manipulate them, stretch them, whatever. You know,
so,
and gold's very pliable.
Yes, that's why they have to mix it with other metals.
Well, that's not this bullion, but other
gold for jewelry.
Yeah, so that's where you have the carats, right? So you have the 14, 18, 24 karat gold. Yeah. So 24 karat gold is pretty high quality.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the percentage of it, but it's not 0.999. There's even some on here that you can see that is 4 nines when it comes to gold.
Whoa.
Let me see if I can show you one of those.
So-
Yeah, see right here, the maple leaf. See that has 4 nines.
Wow.
9999.
Yeah.
So that's just the, some people they care about it, and
Yeah.
and if you had 4 nines of gold, you could literally make an imprint with your fingernail.
Oh,
It's that pliable.
that's crazy.
It's that pliable.
So when Fit hits the Shan,
hmm
are these coins technically going to be worth more than a jeweler's rod of gold? Technically, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the difference is, what would you trust?
That I
So-
never even thought of it in that way.
So if you're sitting in a parking lot,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
you're trying to get a loaf of bread,
Yeah.
right?
Someone shows up with a rod of a metal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like, who's gonna know how to test it? Who's gonna know how to weigh it? Who's
Yeah.
gonna know how to? So the coinage benefit is that it's trustable,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm. And when
That's the disadvantage of the bars,
yeah.
because I've even sold a bar before.
Oh.
I had a 100-ounce bar
Oh my God.
of silver,
Okay.
and I sold it to a pawn shop
Yeah.
because I needed to make a mortgage payment.
Oh, damn.
And my bookkeeper screwed up, so I needed to get cash quick.
Yeah.
So I went, and it was a Saturday. So I literally went to pawn shop, and nobody would
Take the bar.
would accept it.
Yeah.
And I found this one place on Dyer, and they literally grinded the bar because you could fill it with lead or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, ugh.
You're like, oh, damn. Please buy this after this.
Yeah, and no, I'm like, just like, they're freaking grinding my silver bar in half.
Oh.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
So they cut it in half?
Yeah.
Oh.
So because you can test the outside.
Yeah. But you need to know what's in the middle.
Yeah, and so even though it was from a manufacturer that prints this stuff, you know what I mean? But I'm sus. They don't know who I am.
Yeah, they don't. Whoa.
So
that's a very good point.
it's really weird.
And then when they used to bite the coin, to make sure it's real.
The other thing too is there's a sound that silver makes when you flick it.
Yeah.
Ding. It has a resonance to it. Then you just know what it sounds like. Also magnetic. So if you use magnet on gold or silver, it shouldn't be magnetic at all. So if you put it there, it shouldn't be able to get magnetic.
Wow.
And then there's for gold, the qualities, there's acids that you can put on there to check if it's real. Then there's even pins that you can stick inside of it, to check it. Or there's even for like diamonds and stuff like that.
Yes. I used to work the jewelry counter at Sam's when I worked there.
Oh, okay.
And they had that pin that you would touch it to a diamond.
And it would be like green.
Yeah,
or
it'd light up
red
green.
Or yellow or whatever.
And we'd have to do that. We'd have to do it when we'd hand out the ring, for example, and when we'd get it back. We'd have to test it to make sure it's the same ring. Because people would get duplicates, like fake rings. They'd try them on. They'd walk around, like switch the ring and then give it back. And it was glass. And so you had to be checking them all the time.
People are smart.
Yeah. Or when they'd buy it and then return it because it's the wrong size. And it'd be glass.
Wow.
So you have to test it. And then you have to show them when they buy it. Okay, I'm testing it. This is a real diamond, and then if they do return it, so that they can't say, well, this is how I bought it. I bought it here just like that. Like, you guys are screwing me over. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. It was really hardcore. There was a lot of rules at the jewelry counter.
Yeah. And then, so there's also like for jewelry, like if you bring me jewelry, I can scratch it on a pad and then drop the acids on there, and it can tell me what color it turns will tell me what percentage of gold it is.
Whoa.
Or if it's even real, or if it's fake, or if it's real silver or fake silver.
That's cool.
So that's a whole business that's going to blow up in the next couple years. Like, remember when there was like in 08, it was like a coin shop, like scrap coin on every corner.
Yeah.
Silver hit like $50
Whoa.
at that time.
Yeah.
and now it's still $23.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
so interesting fact, back to the percentages,
Mhm.
right? So it should be right now silver is at even a 15 times of silver, it's barely $358.
Mhm.
Okay, so if it was at even like a historical low, 1983 divided by 15, silver should be at $132.
Whoa.
Okay,
Okay.
so silver is the better buy
Mhm.
in regard to percentage of gold, right?
Mhm.
The ratio that's normally there.
Mhm.
Um, and then silver is also an industrial metal where gold's really not.
Mhm.
So silver is an industrial metal because it's used for all your electronics has silver in it,
Mhm.
and now they're using cobalt and other
Mhm.
things, but silver is an industrial metal. So it's used on a regular basis on a lot of electronics, on a lot of circuit boards and stuff like that. But it's so small that you can't really,
Like harvest it and use
you
it.
can't harvest it out
Yeah.
of the computers. People were doing that
Mhm.
in '08. They started grabbing all of the motherboards and then taking off the little small welds that you weld the piece in on circuit breakers.
They would weld with the silver?
Yeah, that's what you do. So that's where the silver's on there. It's here because
Oh.
it's one of the best conductors.
Conductors. Okay.
So whereas like gold is a better conductor, but it's even more expensive.
Mhm.
So they're not going to
Mhm.
use gold.
No.
Um,
Wow. What about copper?
so copper is probably the best deal.
Mm.
But then you go into the problem of why people buy gold over silver.
Mhm.
The reason people buy gold over silver is that there's a benefits and negatives to both.
Mhm.
So the benefit to gold is that it's a lot that you can stick in your pocket.
Mhm.
Like I could get 10 ounces of gold and stick it in my pocket,
Mhm.
and 10 ounces of gold could be, 20, 30,000 bucks,
Mhm.
depending on what it is.
Mhm.
And I could go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas silver, if I needed $30,000 worth of silver, I couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I'd need a backpack,
Yeah.
and like, and then as it progresses, you're like to get to $100,000 of silver, $100,000 of gold, you could probably put it in a backpack.
Mhm.
But $100,000 of silver, you need a truck.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
and it's the same thing when it goes to copper.
Yeah. And copper is in a lot of things.
Yeah, copper is like a super industrial metal,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Like literally all the wires in our houses are copper.
Mhm.
And like the water lines in most houses is copper, So, but copper is way undervalued. Like you literally could go get all pennies
Mhm.
and you just buy all the pennies up at your bank and then stick it in your garage because the amount of lead, the amount of zinc and copper in pennies is more than the penny's worth.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
So like you instantly made money. You know
Huh.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I never even thought of it like that.
yeah. So any penny, I think it's 1972 and back, has a higher percentage of copper.
Mm.
Like the wheat pennies.
Mhm.
I forget if it's 90% copper or whatever. And those ones are way more valuable. There's like almost a dollar
Mhm.
for just a wheat penny.
Yeah.
So you get a dollar, it's like 100 times X.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think
That
about.
is crazy.
But you could buy, they do sell bullion copper or
Mhm.
in copper bars,
Mhm.
and it's like pure copper.
Mm.
You know, um, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, go for it.
Yeah.
Copper's going to be there, and it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So you just know that you're even having more of a breakdown
Yeah.
of how much you're going to have to carry around if you
Yeah.
ever had to bug out.
Yeah.
So the bug out people do gold.
Mm.
The hunker down people generally do silver.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with gold too, you're in that parking lot, you're trying to get a loaf of bread, and all you have is gold.
Mm-hmm.
You can't break gold down enough.
Yeah.
Now, there are these cool things in gold that, and they have these little breakaway things.
For smaller pieces.
Yeah, and I don't see it.
That's
here.
clever.
So it almost looks like a sheet. So it's like a sheet, and then it's gridded like this, and then it's gridded, and you can bend it out and pop it off and trade it that way.
Wow. That's very smart.
Yeah, somebody figured that out.
That's super smart. With copper, so the reason copper is even on my radar is because when Jake does appraisals in foreclosure homes, a lot of times they're destroyed and all the copper wires are taken out. And then my thought is, like, where do they even sell that?
They go to the scrap yards.
Oh.
So scrap yards will accept copper.
Oh.
They'll accept copper, steel, aluminum. You know, like people that do their cans.
Yeah.
So copper's like if you change a house from copper to PEX, like you're making money doing that. Especially when copper was so high during COVID.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's cool. Okay, that makes sense.
So the advantage of silver is that it's it's tradable. It's smaller. You're not gonna get jumped with some rounds of silver in your pocket. You know.
Yeah.
But who knows where it could go?
Yeah.
The idea that I heard, and I think this was from Robert Kiyosaki, is he says the time to sell your gold is when 1 share of the Dow Jones equals 1 ounce of gold. Okay, so let's look at that number. Because it's going to be relative. So right now, a share of the Dow is 33,500
for 1 share.
For 1 share. So that's almost so you put 33,500 and you divide it by 1983. That's a 16x. So it's like this would have to happen, right? And I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah.
So if let's say let's say that gold's at $33,000, right? And silver is 15% of that, 15 times that. Silver would be at $2,200, give or take. Silver, I think, would rise faster than gold will because more people can buy it.
Okay, that makes sense.
More people can buy it. Now, depending on what happens with if there's a currency that becomes backed by gold or silver, it might make things different. So that's why I say if you're going to invest in it, I would just get 500 ounces of silver.
And you call that a mega box?
No, it's called a monster box.
Monster box.
They call them monster boxes. Let me show you what a monster box looks like.
There was this guy on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was selling gold, and he kind of seems schemy.
Oh.
But he was the way that he thought about it is they sold gold coins and bullion and all that stuff. But they also sold gold jewelry. And so it was something you could wear, but it was minted and it had all the paperwork.
So these are monster boxes. Okay. So you can see it.
We'll put it on the screen for you guys.
And a monster box
looks all sealed up.
It comes prepackaged and it's like, you're not touching it, and it's all pre-done. And you can buy all different kinds, right? Obviously, you can buy monster boxes of all different kinds, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you buy a monster box of just regular silver eagles,
Mhm.
American silver eagles, it'll be like 19,500.
Mm.
So 500 ounces, 19,500. So there's a huge premium again
Mhm.
on the American eagles, and you divide that by 500, you're paying $39 a coin.
Okay.
Okay, now if you bought just a maple leaf, so this like the Canadian maple leaf, 15,575, right? And you divide that by the 500, you're at 31.
Hmm.
Huge difference.
Mhm.
Huge difference, right? Let me see if they have any gold.
Mm.
But generally, when people talk about Monster Box, they're talking about silver.
Oh, okay. And if you just bought one coin, wasn't it like 29? Let me look.
That's if you buy rounds.
Mm.
Okay, but Monster Boxes are pretty much, they're categorized,
Okay.
right? So,
Okay.
okay, so you just buy a Monster Box. You're gonna invest,
Yeah.
quite a bit of money, 20 grand.
Yeah.
And then after that, then you want to get at least 10 ounces
Okay.
of gold.
Of gold.
This is what
10.
I would say.
Yeah.
Just get 10 ounces of gold. So 500 ounces of silver, 10 ounces of gold, right?
Mhm.
And you're gonna pay, $2,200 per ounce, right? And I'm just being, and this is based on today's prices.
Mhm.
So that's another $22,000.
It'll be fun to rewatch this episode in a
And see.
year and see what the price is on everything.
Yeah. So you got 22,000 in silver, and you got 20,000, no, 22,000 in gold, 20,000 in silver. And you're pretty much set when it comes to precious metals.
Mhm.
Your insurance policy is taken care of. Now, I'm not saying, sell everything you have, go do this. Like, this is going to be your insurance policy.
Yeah.
Okay. But if the proverbial hits the fan,
Mhm.
you will be glad you did.
Mhm.
Okay. Then now we go to Bitcoin.
Okay.
And then also I want to get into to altcoins as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like a whole holistic view of protecting your family financially, not so much like prepping wise.
Mhm.
This is a financial picture of how to succeed in the collapse,
Okay.
the imminent collapse.
Dun dun dun. And it's not financial advice.
Yes. Yeah, I'm just I'm some random dude in my extra room at my house talking about, no, what are we gonna say? I am the tip of the spear. I am the Alex Jones, right?
Yes.
Coming to you from the, what do they call it? He called it like not the base camp, or what did he call it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the war room. Yeah, no, this is not the war room.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to be the more risky, out of the ones that we've already talked to, the more risky, the more volatile investment that you have, that has the higher potential for gain.
Okay.
Okay. So the other thing is, you would want to get to the point where you can at least buy, 5 Bitcoin.
5 whole Bitcoin.
5 whole Bitcoin.
Oof.
This is the goal.
Okay.
Okay.
It's nice to have these goals because you never really know, like, what's your end goal.
Yeah, I'm not even there yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm there yet.
Yeah.
You don't know what I have here in my war room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tip of the
So
spear.
right now, let's see.
Last I saw was 25, but that was days
No,
ago.
it's 28,122.
It's going up fast.
Yeah, it hit a break. It broke through a ceiling. I called it too. I called
Did
it.
you call like around the time it was
Yeah.
going to happen?
Mm-hmm. I said,
Where's my
I called
Bitcoin?
my,
There it is.
I could show that text message to my mom and my uncle.
Oh, yeah?
I said, okay, now it's time to buy.
Okay.
They didn't listen to me when I told them to sell.
Yeah.
I don't know if they listened to me about when to buy.
Yeah.
There's still time to buy.
Yeah.
Okay. I just dropped below 27.
Okay.
It dropped below 28. So let's just say 28. We'll just use 28 as the round number, right?
28,000.
So $28,000 Bitcoin. So if you bought 5 Bitcoin, okay, so that would be approximately 140,000. Okay, so let's just say 145,000 with fees.
Okay.
Okay, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but let me tell you the potential. Okay, so we talked about the potential over here. Actually, I didn't do the math on the potential over here with silver. Let me do that real quick.
Okay.
So if silver goes up to, well, let's do gold first. So gold, if it goes to a share of the Dow, 1 ounce of gold, right, is 33,000, right? And you have, now this is all relative because
Yeah. It hasn't happened.
well, I'm saying it's relative to inflation.
Oh.
So we don't know what that number may be if we go through hyperinflation.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Zimbabwe had like a 10 trillion or $100 trillion bill, which I have a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and America could go there
Mm-hmm.
very easily. So it should be
crazy.
relative value.
Okay.
So 33,000 in today's dollars, and you have 10 ounces. Okay. So that's 330,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Okay. Now, if that's true, and you have $33,000 per ounce, and silver is a 15th of that, right? It's divided by 15.
Mm-hmm.
It's $22 an ounce, and you have 500 of those. That's 1.1 million. Okay, in possibly money. Okay, so silver's more secure, has less potential than you would have here, right? So you would have had invested 22,000 and made $330,000 in gold. So
Yeah.
your value is that, and then you invested 20,000 and you made 1.1 million
Oh, wow.
in silver.
Yeah.
Okay, so silver's obviously the bigger bet.
Yeah.
Gold is more secure.
Mm.
Gold is more trusted. Gold has less of a premium.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you go to Bitcoin. If you invest in Bitcoin, not financial advice, or you bought 5 Bitcoin, which is 145,000, right? And okay, so what Bitcoin should do based on prior cycles
Mm-hmm.
in this next cycle, which is in 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
it should do a 15x. A 15 to 20x.
That's so hardcore.
Okay.
That's so hardcore.
So a 15x is 2.1.
Oh, man.
2.1. Okay. So, and this is all based on this current prices. Like this is just math.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you bought it now, it's 15x not based on its current price. It's based on the last peak price.
Mm. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Didn't it peak last at like 60?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So let's say it's 62,000. I think it peaked at 65, but let's just say
Yeah.
62
That
times
sounds right.
15, right? So 62,000
Oh, man. I thought
times 5
the price it was now.
times 15. Let me do it again. Okay, so 5 times 63,000 is 315. Okay, so you're already winning here because you're buying at a discount.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're investing 145,000, and it should be valued at max 315,000.
Whoa.
Okay, so you're already doubled. Okay. Then if it 15x's, it'll be up 4.7 mil.
Holy
GBB.
cow.
Right.
Holy cow.
You get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Bitcoin.
That's if
This
you
is the
bought
potential.
5.
This is the potential.
Whoa.
So if you did all this, like you invested pretty much like 185,000,
Mm-hmm.
87,000, your potential just in these ones, and we're not even talking altcoins, 4.7. So it's 5 mil, 6 mil, 6 point something mil.
Jeez
In just
Louise.
this, and you're investing 145,000, like 185,000
That's
for
hardcore.
6 million potential. You know? So,
Yeah.
and I'm not even talking real estate.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. I'm a
Yeah.
real estate guy. We'll talk real estate one day. Okay. Or you go to my other channel, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll talk about short-term rentals,
All that
rental
good stuff.
property, and all that stuff, and other people's money. Like, we're not even talking about other people's money. Okay. So now you have all this, and you're like, now I want to speculate and be risky.
Mm-hmm.
You mean this is not risky? Well, it's risky, but I'm not talking like super risky. Okay, so the thing you want to understand about the altcoins is there's levels to these altcoins.
Okay.
The best way to understand the levels is to understand what's called a cap rate. Not a cap rate, is it cap rate? It's let me look it up because I'm going to misquote it. My brain is getting tired already.
It's a lot of math. Yeah, Bitcoin's the only one that I feel comfortable enough
Market
putting
cap.
money into.
So I was right. So it's market cap.
Market cap.
Okay, so what your market cap is the total amount invested or value of the whole coin.
Oh, okay.
So the higher the market cap, the more reliable it should be.
Mm.
Okay. There's a few exceptions to this rule, and what the exceptions would be um like Tether. Okay, so Tether has a big market cap. So Tether is what they call a stable coin.
Mm.
So Tether is 1-for-1 supposed to be for the dollar.
Mm. Okay.
But a few of these stable coins have gone under.
Mm.
So
How does a coin even go under?
Fraud.
All kind of. Oh,
So
okay.
we're in the wild, wild west out here when
Yeah.
we're going into the altcoins.
Okay.
So if you look at market cap, obviously the number one market cap is Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Bitcoin currently's market cap is 541 billion.
Jeez.
That's all the value of all the Bitcoin.
All the Bitcoin.
The thing about Bitcoin too is that people don't understand that Bitcoin has half of its value is probably lost. And it will only have 21 million ever in circulation, and there's already 19 million out.
And that is because people mined it or bought it and then they don't have the password
access,
to access it.
or they died, or who knows what happened to it.
Whoa, so half. It's
Even-
estimated about half.
Even Satoshi himself has like 1 million, something like that, 1 million coins,
Mm-hmm.
and in one of his wallets, and it's never moved.
Wow.
So there's a lot of speculation as to who Satoshi is, the guy that supposedly invented it. But we're not doing that today.
Yeah.
So the market cap goes as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ethereum 2, Tether, which is a stable coin, BNB, which is Binance, which is an exchange coin.
Okay.
I would not buy any Binance.
Okay.
And I wouldn't buy any Tether. And I wouldn't buy any USDA coin. Not right now.
Okay.
Okay. Ethereum is the number 2, is the number 1 altcoin.
Mm.
Altcoin means other than Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
And so Ethereum itself, its market cap is like 217 billion.
Hmm.
You know, and if you talk about that compared to 500 and whatever, Bitcoin is literally bigger than all the altcoins pretty much put together.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, and then you have the next one, which is XRP. And XRP is very weird because XRP is in a lawsuit.
Oh.
And
Okay.
they were in a lawsuit the whole last season.
Oh, wow.
Right? You can't buy XRP on any of the major exchanges because they're in a lawsuit.
Is it like frozen? It's all on hold or what?
They just don't they don't allow it.
Okay.
Because they're worried about it.
Hmm.
But XRP has huge potential. XRP is a centralized currency. So it's like Bitcoin. It's like a cryptocurrency that's literally a currency. That's what it's designed for, is to be a currency.
Okay.
I'm not big on XRP. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
But the XRP has potential. It probably is one of the safest ones that has the highest potential.
Okay. Once it gets out of the lawsuit.
Because it was held down the whole last cycle. It didn't even reach its previous height in the last cycle because obviously nobody wanted to invest in it because nobody knew if it was ever going to come out.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We will see. And I've been hearing for years that it's going to come out and it hasn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we're just going to sit and wait.
I'm not going to stress about it.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one you have is Cardano or ADA. ADA is the ticker symbol. Cardano is a competitor to Ethereum.
Okay.
And Cardano started as a stake, a proof of stake blockchain, whereas Ethereum was a proof of work like Bitcoin. We had to mine it. They switched over. That's what Ethereum 2 is a proof of stake.
Okay.
And but Ada's been doing it longer. Ada was one of the original guys. That was the founder of Ada was one of the original guys that started Ethereum.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a few people that have done that.
Yeah.
So you have Ethereum, you have Cardano, and then you also have the Polkadot guy. Those three guys were some of the big founders of Ethereum originally.
Yeah.
And a lot of people left. The only guy that stayed there, I forget his name, the skinny guy that's in Ethereum.
Okay.
So Cardano is a big one that I'm in. I've invested in them early. I sold most of everything that I had in Cardano in the last cycle.
Yeah.
But I made money on it.
Nice.
I made money on it. So Cardano is a good one. I highly recommend researching it. I don't think it's one of those ones that's going to get, killed as bad.
You keep mentioning cycles. So I know Bitcoin is on a 4-year cycle. Are all of them kind of like that?
All of them follow Bitcoin.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So everything follows Bitcoin.
Bitcoin and its cycle.
Yeah. Everything follows Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of like the wave of the tide, and everything just follows it because it controls so much of the marketplace.
Okay. Cool.
I would recommend following Bitcoin, even if you want to be a degenerate and buy all these low-end altcoins. You can do it. But
yeah.
Okay, so where we're getting now is we're not even to the bottom tier of coins. So next you have Dogecoin, which everybody's heard about that.
Yeah.
It's a meme coin. It actually is a proof of work project.
Okay.
Which is rare.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I kind of like Dogecoin this cycle because it's still proof of work and nobody has proof of work coins anymore.
And so does that mean you have to mine it?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you have Polygon, which is Matic. Polygon and Solana, which are both next to each other, and they both have had issues. They've both gotten breaches and hacks and stuff like that, and have broken down in their chains. They are not as trusted as the other ones, even though they're high up there. They both were, Solana specifically was way above all these other coins. But because of some of the stuff that's happened to them, they're not as trusted. The next one is Polkadot. I'm a Polkadot guy. I got in Polkadot early. I sold Polkadot. Polkadot, I think, has a lot of potential. They call themselves a layer 0 platform.
Okay. What does that mean?
So everything is like, so there's layer 1 concept coins, right? Like Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Polygon. But Polkadot, is their big thing is they want to be below the layer 1 and interconnect all the layer 1s. So that's what their big thing is.
Okay.
And the guy, he's a big hipster dude that runs Polkadot, and his market cap is 7.5 billion.
Whoa.
And there's so you want to look at market cap, circulating supply, to understand what your value that you're buying at. So circulating supply is 1.2 billion.
Wow.
So there's a lot of Polkadot out there. Whereas like if you go to Ethereum 2, there's 8 billion out there, but at 218, there's 120 million, there's 120 million in circulating supply, and the market cap is 218 billion. So you can see that here. So circulating supply, and then it's the market cap.
Okay.
So it's like the total value of the circulating supply. Right? Okay. So as we go down, then you have Binance USA. Yeah, so there's a Binance coin, and then there's a Binance USA. Neither one of them do I like. So Binance USA is the one that's connected to the US dollar.
Okay.
And that's why I think they're getting in trouble.
Well, and then
they're creating stable coins.
The US dollar is like isn't it getting ready to like tank?
It's funny because the US dollar has been booming the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Because we're the only country that's been able to really raise our rates without destroying our economy. So I don't know. It's interesting to see what's going to happen.
What happens? Yeah.
So you have Litecoin. Litecoin sucks. Nobody's working on Litecoin, but everybody knows Litecoin. So it's still up there. You have Shiba Inu, which is garbage. Don't buy that thing. You have Tron, which is garbage. Avalanche, which is garbage. You have all these other ones, Wrapped Bitcoin, which is garbage. Chainlink is interesting. So this Chainlink, I would say, is like a tier 2 type coin. So it's like 3.8 billion. So Chainlink is something that it actually has a use case where it's connecting all these coins together. I have invested in Chainlink in the past. I like Chainlink. And then you have like Uniswap, and there's like millions of these coins, okay? But I'm just kind of going through it, like really. Uniswap is a site that you have to get this coin to be able to swap coins that are not on any of the major exchanges.
Oh, okay.
So there's a huge, I guess, technique, or like there's a huge, I don't know the word, it's not technique, but there's a huge strategy is the word, to making money in crypto, is you find coins that are not on the exchanges, get in them early, and then once they get on the exchanges, then you sell them.
Yeah, because in the beginning, aren't they worth like pennies?
Yeah, you can
like less than
fractions of pennies.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So, and but when a coin first launches, you don't want to buy it right away. unless you're on a group that got to buy it before the launch, because it'll launch and then it'll crash, and then you buy it, and then it'll work its way up, and then like way over here it gets on the exchange.
Okay.
Okay, that's the life of these coins.
Okay.
But that's if you're a degenerate.
Okay.
So you have, and these coins, they start with market caps of like 500,000.
Yeah.
Or 1 million.
Yeah.
And you could buy this crappy coin for like, you could buy like 10,000 for like $100.
Yeah.
Coins.
Yeah.
You know, and then you do whatever you want with it.
Okay.
So, you have Cosmos, Stellar Lumen, all these different kind of coins. You have Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is a whole rabbit hole in itself. So Bitcoin Cash is part of the original Bitcoin.
Okay.
And Bitcoin, every time it went through, it forked. And when there was a fight in the Bitcoin community. So you have Bitcoin Cash, you have Bitcoin Silver, and then you have Bitcoin.
Okay.
BTC. BTC is the one that has won all of the arguments. So when there's not a consensus in the miners or the owners of Bitcoin, they will make a vote, and then they will split the blockchain.
Whoa.
So this blockchain over here is like Bitcoin Classic or Bitcoin Cash, right? Whatever. Like there's even one for Ethereum. There's Ethereum Classic. And Ethereum Classic is trading, and it's here, and it's got, $2.9 billion in value.
That's so interesting. Is Satoshi involved in?
Nobody knows where Satoshi is.
But like, we know he did the original one.
Yeah, so he wasn't. He built it, and then he left.
And he left
after a couple years.
Okay.
So none of the forks happened while he was there.
Oh, okay.
None that I know of.
Yeah.
And so there's a guy that says he was part of the group that created Bitcoin, and he's the guy that's like the biggest proponent of Bitcoin Cash.
Oh, okay.
And he makes a really good argument. You can disagree with him, but he makes a good argument. So there's something to be said there.
Do we know who the other guys are? Like that guy says he's a part of it. Do we know the other people?
Yeah, you can go down that
rabbit hole and find out.
Yeah,
I feel like people would want to be like, I'm a Bitcoin guy.
Yeah, there's definitely stuff in there. So now you can go into like your really mid-tier type coins, and like Neo and Sandbox and Terra Luna. Terra Luna is one of those ones that people got wrecked. And then you see here's the Bitcoin Silver. So you could buy a Bitcoin Silver for $42.
Oh, okay.
And literally you are technically buying Bitcoin, which is crazy.
That is.
So, but they say it's a dead blockchain. Nobody's working on it, blah, blah, blah. And then you have a bunch of these layovers from other cycles like Dash. And then you have like, what's another layover? EOS. EOS was a big one back in the day. Where if you look at it on a chart, it went up to $22, almost $23. And right now it's at $1.19.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and then the last cycle, it went up to like $7-8. And it's now at this. So most of the altcoins have lost 90 to 95% of their value.
That's hardcore.
Yeah. Even the ones that I talked about, even like Chainlink or Cardano or whatever.
So when you're doing this, you really want to ride that wave. It's not something like, tomorrow I'm going to sell it and make a ton of money. It's like, you're going to ride that.
You want to buy in the next year.
Yeah.
And then you want to sell in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
At the top of the market.
Yeah.
Right? And the potential is let me go through that. Okay, so let's just say this is what what I'm going to do for myself
Mm-hmm.
is, let's say you're going to put 10K in here. All right?
Yeah.
10K. Like, comparably to the rest of the stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it's pennies,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not saying that 10K is a little bit of money, but I'm just saying. So you put 10K over here, and let's say you do a percentage, and you just do 30, 30, 30, and 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's say you do 30 in like an A tier type altcoin. So you can do Ethereum, ADA, right? And you do 2 of those
Okay.
A coins, and then you want to do like a B coin, something that has like some crazy upward mobility. And what I would probably pick is something in the metaverse.
Hmm.
Okay.
Metaverse as in Facebook?
No, Meta is trying to copy what's happening in crypto.
Oh.
So, and you ever heard of the game WoW,
Mm-hmm.
World of Warcraft?
Mm-hmm.
They're creating these games
Okay.
on the blockchain, and what they do is you can play it and you win actual cryptocurrency.
That's really smart because
Does that
gaming
make
is
sense?
huge.
Yes.
It would make sense
Like
that crypto would be
like your
attached.
son is your hubby
Mm-hmm.
is always playing these stupid games
Yes,
on his
always,
phone.
constantly.
Imagine if he was playing and making money.
Oh, that would be so cool.
He would do it all day.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's going to be a blockchain.
Okay.
Okay. So, like, he's not making any money while he's doing any of it. He's wasting money.
Mm-hmm.
So, if he did the opposite, he would play it more often and
Mm-hmm.
he would have more intensity. So,
Mm-hmm.
there's quite a few different of these coins. Like I did on the last bull run, I bought a couple of them. So I bought like Engine, and I bought Sand.
Mm-hmm.
I did really good on Sand. I bought Valcom Forge. I bought Chain Games. I bought Ultra. I bought. I have some dust left over. What they call dust. So when you sell stuff on your wallet, whatever those little fractions are left,
Okay.
they leave dust
Dust.
in your
Oh,
wallet, which is
that's
kind of cool.
so cool.
Yeah. So you can look and see what you have just based on your dust.
Your dust.
Uh,
Huh.
so I bought all these and I sold most of them.
Yeah.
But people sold like 1,000, 1,500x
Yeah.
on these things. Now you can even get further on there.
Mm-hmm.
So in WoW, you can buy like this rare sword, or you can mine or find this rare sword in the game.
Mm.
And then people sell those things on like eBay,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
What they did in these metaverse games is they did the same thing, but for NFTs.
Okay.
So you can go and you can even mint NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
There's land, like Sand.
Mm-hmm.
Sand is like a metaverse,
Mm.
and like Snoop Dogg has his own town,
Okay.
and he created his own town.
I heard about that.
Yeah, and there's all these different types of games. Now we don't know who's gonna win
Yeah.
the attention and who's gonna have a good game.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's probably where I would put 30% of my money on
That
a B
sounds
tier,
interesting to me.
B tier investment in the metaverse.
Okay.
Okay, then the 10%
Mm.
remaining, which would be like 1K, I would be a total degenerate
Mm.
and try and catch waves
Yeah.
of new stuff that's coming out,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And then try and swing trade that stuff.
Yeah.
So this is stuff that I'm going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out every week.
Yeah. Watching it, having some fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too much that it'll hurt.
Yeah,
but
if I lose it, it's like whatever.
yeah. Okay.
All right. So let's do the math here. So if you catch the metaverse and you do, 1,500x, which is very easy, I think, this
Mhm.
round. ETH, you're probably going to do a 30x. What I would say. ADA, you're probably going to do at least a 30x as well, maybe more.
And that's your opinion based on how well they did last cycle?
Yeah, and how they've performed each cycle.
Mm.
Okay, so now the degenerate, I won't even add that up. We'll just count it as a loss. So ADA in the last cycle peaked at $3. Right now it's at 39 cents. $3. Okay. So $3 times 30x is $90, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the share of each one should be $90. So let's say you have $3,000 worth, and you divide that into 39 cents, right? So you now would have 7,692 shares of ADA, and you
Times
multiply
90.
that times $90. Now you have $692,000.
Dang. Okay.
You see that? You see
Yeah.
how the math works?
Yeah, totally.
So it's similar with ETH, and then let's see the degenerate type. Okay, so you got this $3,000. Let's say it goes up. We'll just do it at 1,500x.
Okay.
We won't even do the below when you're buying it cheap or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4.5 million. Just on the metaverse bet. Now this is a very conservative bet,
Mm-hmm.
right? We've got approximately $200,000 invested in all of these things.
And you're talking the coins that we talked about and then Bitcoins type stuff.
Yeah, so this is Bitcoin's already invested here. We're talking just altcoins, and it's just $10,000.
Yeah.
And you have the same amount of potential with this $10,000 that you do with all the rest of it. Now, the fear me telling you this is that you just go do that because you're a degenerate. But I would say that it's better for you to make small incremental profits and then be a degenerate with a smaller amount because this all could go to zero.
Yeah.
Okay. Bitcoin, I doubt it's going to go to zero, but there's a potential.
Yeah.
Gold and silver is not going to zero.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But the potential for it raising in the next 2 years is very low.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like an insurance policy. It's more than it is investing. It's an insurance policy. And once you got the insurance policy done, you don't have to mess with it anymore. You don't need more than 500 ounces of silver and 10 ounces of gold. You really don't. Once you get that done, you can just move on. You know what I mean? You don't need to go buy more.
Yeah. And with all my prepping stuff and like just everything for preparation, that's kind of how I see it. I have a goal and then I get to it and then I move on. And so that's good to know about the coins, the physical gold and silver
just get
stuff.
it done. It's almost like food. Once you get to 6 months of food storage and prepping stuff, it's almost like guns. Like, what do you need? 500, 1,000 rounds per gun.
Yeah, you need 1,000 rounds. 1,000 rounds.
Yeah, so if you have 5
Minimum.
guns.
Yeah.
You got 5,000 rounds.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah. You're
then
G2G.
you don't have to worry about it no more.
Yeah.
Then you can go be a degenerate.
Yeah.
So the other thing too is you want to make sure that you yourself can survive during this time and make strides to better your family for the future.
And it's crazy too with food specifically. I think one thing people need to be buying up is seeds. A lot of the seeds are not heirloom seeds. And you want heirloom seeds because if you buy a non-heirloom seed,
it won't grow.
It will not grow. So let's say you harvest seeds from whatever you're growing and it's not heirloom, you plant that seed, it will not give you anything. And so if the system falls apart and you don't have seeds, you cannot grow. And so heirloom seeds will allow you to every year harvest those seeds from the good crop and replant them, and you will have food for the next year. But if you don't have those, what are you going to do? And growing is hard as it is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We had one season where we wanted to do a lot of cabbage. The second they sprouted, huge moths came and ate all of them in like one night. It was gone. We were like, what? And it was only the cabbage because we planted a lot of stuff. All the cabbage, they just destroyed them.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. And, you know, with nature, things like that could happen. So having seeds is really important.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seeds, protein.
Mm-hmm.
Protein is the one I think that people are
Not,
sleeping on.
they're not thinking
Because
about it.
I
You're right.
think that the government's going to give you carbs.
Yeah. I mean, they're pumping us full of carbs now and telling us it's healthy.
Yeah.
That is what they're going to be giving us.
But they're not going to give you protein.
No. And like people, cereal, like when you look at different things that people do get, it's cereal, it's rice, it's things like that.
Beans and
Yeah.
pasta. Like,
Yeah, pasta.
you know
yeah.
what I mean? All those carbs, like, yeah, you like I have them too, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course.
But you need protein.
Yeah.
Protein is the big one.
And people, when they look at prepping, a lot of times they talk about the calories. You want to have this many calories in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you buy the, like not MREs, but those types of packs,
Mm-hmm.
it's, oh, you get this many calories. Okay, but how much protein? You know, how much of this, how much of that? Because great, calories are good, but you don't just want to survive, you want to thrive. And you're going to need good protein.
Yeah, you need good protein. So like a couple chickens.
Mm-hmm.
I did the math on the chickens. That's why I have so many chickens.
Yeah, yeah.
So for a family of 5, you need like 14, 15 chickens.
Mm-hmm.
And those 14, if you get good egg layers, those 14 or 15 chickens will produce enough protein for you to just survive on that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need to get any other protein.
Yeah.
You can just eat the egg protein.
Yeah. And it's
and
so
you're
good.
done.
Yeah.
And you're
Like,
done.
yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's good.
And then seasonality with that, like you don't like that in the winter they slow down, you know. So you have to think about all of that stuff and then how to maintain it. Because like we have our oldest chickens are 3 years, and once they start to slow down, which will be next year or the year after, we will process them, we'll eat them, and we need to replace them. So you have to think about all those things in the future.
Yeah, and you have to get a rooster, and then you have to be able to feed the chickens.
And it's cool too because like one thing Ed talks a lot about is finding like-minded people so that you can do all of this together. So like with us, you guys have female goats. We're thinking about getting
male.
I'm talking with her right now. I think they're going to be ours. So we're going to have the males, and we'll be able to stud out our boys.
Yeah. And maybe because we're almost ready for our girls to have some babies. So maybe when we do it, we could give you, we could sell you the baby or whatever.
Yeah.
And because I don't know how many babies we're gonna have.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Rather than you going and buying one.
Yeah, exactly.
We just produce our own.
Exactly. And then
you know exactly where it's coming from.
Yes. We'll track the males and the females and how we do all that. We're already looking into
especially because you have 2 males.
Yeah.
We could be able to breed them back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, keep the genetics clean.
Yeah.
And then we know people that we could stud out their males with females
and I don't even know how many times you can stud a female. Like you can only get them pregnant so many times. Like, I don't know how many times it is.
Yeah. And then they have to be able to produce milk because that's one of the things you want. And
that's the whole thing is milk.
Yeah. So they have to be pregnant and then have the baby. So all of that, we're learning that. But it's cool to work together and have that system. So we're going to have a rooster for sure with the chickens. Yeah, we're going to take one of the roosters. If there's only one, if there's more than one, we'll figure it out. Yeah. But yeah.
Those males all angry at the world.
I know.
Chasing that lady. Right?
I know.
She's like, let them out.
She's like, leave me alone.
That's funny. Well, that's it for today. I know it was a little bit of a rabbit hole.
I like it.
But I think it's something that everybody needs to go. And what I'm going to start doing too is I'm thinking that every episode I can feature one coin.
Oh, that's a great idea. And talk about it.
Yeah, I could feature one crypto coin. And maybe a little bit about gold and a little bit about silver and a little bit about Bitcoin, what's going on in the beginning. Yeah. And then we can go into every episode.
Because all the financial stuff that's going on right now, I mean, that video you sent us was like the only banks that are going to be left are the big, like there's
The
going to be
big
like
six.
six
Yeah.
big ones. But do you think small local ones, he was talking about that, small local ones that didn't
Yeah.
do the crazy stuff, do you think they're going to survive?
Some of them will, but we don't know how they're actually doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we may think, like he may know because he's in that world, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, like will the credit union survive? Will the,
Yeah.
you know?
It's weird too, because with what my husband does, he works with a lot of small local banks.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one bigger of the small local banks that
Mm-hmm.
has not paid us
At all.
at all. Like he'll get big orders of like 11 and then he'll get one. So the 11s that they sent us, we haven't gotten paid on. But the one or two, they'll pay us. So the one of the big 11 ones, so he appraised 11 houses in the same neighborhood. And that is like 70 days past due.
Mm.
And that feels weird,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But one, like the two, paid, quick, easy, check in the mail. So it's interesting to just kind of watch and see and speculate and hope.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna screw you on it.
I hope not.
Nah, I don't think so. It's not. We're not even to that yet.
Yeah.
You know, once that starts happening, I don't think.
I think once that starts happening, it'll happen fast.
Yeah.
I think it'll just be like, boom, done.
Yeah. The market's turning. The
Yeah.
real estate market is turning.
Yeah.
I already know it.
Yeah.
I've talked to a few builders, and the builder is the one that tells us first.
Okay. And so
And
what are they seeing?
so the builders is seeing the builders are starting to put out buy down, extra commissions. They're working with the realtors. They're doing open houses where they never had to do any of that yet. But we still have we're still in a seller's market. So they have all this time to get to the buyer's market. So right now, I think it's like a 30-day on the market. But if it gets to 6 months, 4 months, then it turns into a buyer's market.
Yeah.
And then that's when you'll fall off a cliff.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, but you have an inventory to eat through.
Yeah.
So they have to be able to, inventory has to come on market, has to not sell and sit. And the longer it sits,
that
prices will drop, and then it'll be a domino effect.
Okay. Yeah, because we're still seeing builders, because he does a lot of new constructions. So we're still seeing those come in, which is interesting. But we know a lot of appraisers, and they're all like, especially the bigger groups. Like Jake is on his own, so he can sustain himself. But the bigger groups, they're seeing like 8 a week. Yeah.
8 what?
Appraisals a week coming in when they were getting like, they were booked out for 6 months.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So the appraisals
it's already slowing.
It's slowing down a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, and so a lot of people are starting to try to find work other places because the big appraisal firms are not getting enough in to sustain their people. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get it done.
Yeah.
There's always money to be made, even in the down market.
Yeah, and being optimistic about that and just moving forward.
That's the time you want to make money. Most people will run scared, and that's why things like this is good for you guys to understand. Is it's all about preparing for it. So market money never disappears; it just transfers. So all that money that's in real estate and in the stock market is going to transfer over to crypto, coins, commodity-based income.
Yes. Yeah, I love it. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
I hope you liked
watching.
it. Like and subscribe, comment, share, tell all your friends.
Yes. Let us know what you think about everything.
Yeah, let me know what you think. If you disagree.
Yeah.
But be nice.
And your predictions as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool to see what actually happens.
Yeah, I called it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.